It was supposed to be a quiet documentary trip. Just us, a camera, and a plan to explore the coastal towns of Japan's Tohoku region, the place forever scarred by the 2011 tsunami. But from the moment we arrived, something felt off. The air was colder than it should have been. The streets, while rebuilt, felt empty, like someone had pressed pause on the life that once existed here. And then came the mirror. That first night we noticed it, fogged up, as expected, but when I wiped it down, there were already handprints. Small, too small, and none of us had touched it. We laughed it off, nervous, uneasy laughter. But deep down, we knew. We had entered a place that hadn't truly moved on, and whatever was still here didn't want to be forgotten. The Tohoku region was the hardest hit by the 2011 earthquake and tsunami. Entire towns were swallowed. Streets we drove down now were once under 30 feet of water. Rebuilt buildings stand beside empty plots of land. Places where homes once stood, where families once laughed, where lives were shattered in seconds. The silence isn't just silence, it's remembrance, a weight that presses on your chest. Even the locals, kind and welcoming, speak with caution about the sea, as if it's alive, as if it remembers what it took. And as we'd soon learn, it might be giving some of it back. At 2:46 p.m., the earth shook. What started as a violent tremor under the Pacific Ocean soon became one of the most catastrophic disasters in modern history. Waves as tall as 12-story buildings raced toward the shore. People had only minutes to escape. Some ran inland, others climbed onto rooftops, but for many, it wasn't enough. Entire cities like Rikuzentakata and Kesanuma were flattened. Nearly 20,000 people lost their lives. Survivors say the sound of the wave wasn't just water. It was like a roar, an angry scream from the earth itself, and that sound never left them. Today, parts of these towns remain untouched, as if the cleanup paused halfway because no one dared go further. This is where the stories begin. After the tsunami, taxi drivers in the city of Ishinomaki began reporting strange encounters. They'd pick up passengers, quiet, cold, polite, who'd give addresses in destroyed neighborhoods. The driver would nod, start the meter, and begin the drive. But upon arrival, the passenger would be gone. No door opening, no steps, just vanished. Some drivers reported the back seats soaked in seawater. Others felt sudden chills, even on sunny days. At first, people laughed these stories off, until multiple drivers came forward, unaware that others had experienced the same thing. One driver even kept a notebook of names and times. When reporters asked why, he simply said, "They were real people. I owe them that ride." Real or not, no one picks up strangers there anymore. We visited Okawa Elementary School, one of the most tragic sites of the disaster. Teachers hesitated during the evacuation. When the tsunami hit, 74 students and staff were swept away. Today, the building remains mostly untouched, a concrete skeleton of what was once full of life. As we walked through the hallways, something strange happened. My audio recorder picked up faint singing. No one else heard it. We stood completely still, and then silence. Locals leave flowers, sometimes toys, and candles that burn out long before they should. They say at night you can still hear children playing, laughing, calling for help. That night I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw their faces. Faces I had never seen before, but they looked real. In a small family-run soba shop, we met an older man who asked us where we were headed next. When we said the seawall, he paused. "Not after dark," he said. "That's when they call out." I asked, "Who?" He didn't answer, just pointed to the ocean. That night, curiosity won. We went anyway. It was midnight. Fog rolled in heavy, and the sea was quiet. Too quiet. We walked toward the seawall with only our flashlights cutting through the darkness. That's when I heard it. My name. Soft. Like a whisper riding the waves. I froze. "Did you say something?" I asked. "No," my friend said, "but I thought I heard you say mine." That was enough. We turned to go. But then we saw them. Footprints in the sand. Small. Barefoot. Leading from the ocean toward the seawall, but none going back. We followed them until they ended, right at a seawall memorial. A photo of a little girl. Her name? The same one I heard whispered by the sea. We left early the next morning, shaken. But that night, we reviewed the footage we'd captured. One frame, just one, sent chills down my spine. A reflection in a shop window showed 3 figures. There were only 2 of us. The third figure? A woman. Long black hair, wet clothes, eyes, hollow. The file corrupted the next day. We couldn't recover it. And honestly, maybe that's for the best. Before we left the region, we made one final stop, a small shrine tucked away on a hillside, built after the disaster. The locals say it's a sacred place, where the restless spirits of those lost in the tsunami can finally find peace. The air was still as we approached. The shrine wasn't grand or elaborate, just weathered wood, wind chimes, and offerings left by strangers. Origami cranes, children's toys, and tiny paper lanterns. We lit a candle, whispered a quiet prayer, and stood there in silence, letting the moment settle in our bones. The only sounds were the distant waves and the faint rustling of leaves. Then as we turned to leave, a sudden gust of wind swept through. The trees around us began to sway almost rhythmically, not violently, but gently, like someone or something had just walked past. We didn't speak. We didn't turn around, not out of fear, but out of respect. Whatever presence was there, it deserved peace, and maybe in that moment, we helped give it some. There are places in the world that carry sorrow so deep, you feel it in your bones. Tohoku is one of them, not because it's broken, but because it remembers. Every seawall, every shrine, every silent street after dark holds a memory. You don't just visit these places, you become part of their story. If this story gave you chills, hit subscribe for more true travel horror stories from across the globe. And tell me in the comments, would you dare walk through Japan's tsunami towns at night? Before you go, if you're a traveler who loves both mystery and mindfulness, check out my KDP book, Travel the World Word Search Puzzle, a relaxing way to explore countries, cultures, and hidden gems through words. Great for travel lovers and puzzle fans alike. Link in the description below. Until next time, be careful where you go. Some places never forget you were there.